Hey y'all, I'm Jack Ingram. Welcome to another edition of the Texas Music Scene. We're coming to you from Pootie's Hilltop Roadhouse, a place that's been home to good times and legendary performances. If these walls could talk. And speaking of legendary venues, this episode takes us to the Globe Theater in Bertram, Texas. We were lucky enough to be a part of a special taping session that helped kick off a year-long celebration of the Globe's 90th anniversary. And we've got an incredible lineup of artists to show for it. We're bookending this one with Silverada, starting with their song Wallflower, a buzzworthy up-tempo country rocker from their self-titled 2024 album that's been turning heads on country radio. Then Sour Bridges takes the stage with their signature mix of bluegrass, folk, and swamp rock, bringing their one-of-a-kind Austin sound to the Globe. Next up, we head to Nashville, sort of, with Brazilbilly, the house band from the world-famous Robert's Western World, led by Jesselee Jones. They're keeping traditional country alive and well, and their performance is one you won't want to miss. And finally, Silverada returns to close things out with Radio Wave, another killer track from their self-titled album. So turn it up and buckle up, because it's time for the Texas Music Scene. We're kicking things off with a band that knows how to channel the Lone Star spirit in every tune, Silverada. Here's their performance of Wallflower, recorded live in Bertram, Texas at the Globe Theater.
So Wallflower is, when I wrote that song, it's a classic, when you listen to the words, it's a classic barroom pickup song. And then with the band, we just took it to, we found that disco thing and we just chased it down. Once we played it in the studio one time that way, there was no turning back, I would agree. You know? Yeah, man, we had to chase it down. And it was the first song that we released after our change, too. So it was kind of it's gonna be a little bit heavier, a little bit different than what it was before. And it really set the stage, I think, for our whole new jumping off point.
Yeah, playing Wallflower it's a fun thing, especially like at the time when we were recording it. I was really into ABBA and like just doing a bunch of ABBA stuff, and so you know, like as we mentioned earlier, being able to go back to those rooms where we started playing in like the honky-tonk bar rooms, and then still being able to like present material that's kind of another side of us that's edgy, drivier, or just, you know, rock in general. So yeah, playing Wallflower is definitely that fun in between that just kind of like lets us, you know, stretch our legs a bit and you know, dig deep into, you know, how we want to play and what we want to play.
It's fun. When you hit that groove, man, you just, I don't want to stop doing it. Yeah.
Fly
Next up, we take a quick trip up to Nashville, at least in spirit. Brazilbilly is the longtime house band at Robert's Western World, the mecca for traditional honky-tonk music in downtown Nashville. Led by Jesselee Jones, these guys play country music the way it was meant to be played, boy. Here they are, recorded live at the Globe Theater in Bertram, Texas.
I moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 1994. I was walking up and down the Ryman Alley, and, you know, touching those walls that people come here from all over the world to touch, to see. And I was inspired by that to write the song called I Still Do. And it's a waltz, but it's been sitting forever. And this week when we decided that we're going to be here today and we needed to have some original songs, I brought it out. It has now become a Brazilbilly song because that's, I trust them. I love these guys. We're like brothers who've been playing music for so long together. And their ideas are great. And we always talk about, even if it's David's songs or Paul's songs, I just say it's Brazilbilly songs, you know. Brazilbilly as a band.
If you'd allow me a moment or two, I'd like to explain why my thoughts are forever of you. Seems like you're here to stay, time cannot take away these lonely feelings I have within me night and day. Since you done said goodbye, my heart just sit and cry, thinking of times when you kissed me and held me so tight. It wasn't so long ago, you said you loved me so. You made a promise that someday you would be my bride. Tell me what happened to that love so true? Tell me why must you make me feel so blue? Then, and I still do. I know you don't love me, it shows on your face. You don't treat someone that you love with such cold hard embrace. My heart is burning, the fire is still burning. I have to forget you, but somehow I can't get away. If this is how it will be, then I must awake and see the cruel reality life has placed before me. I should get up and run, easier said than done. So here I'll stay in forever, the question will be. Tell me what happened to that love so true? Tell me why must you make me feel so blue? Then, and I still do. But I loved you then, and I still do.
Welcome back to the Texas music scene. Now, if you like your bluegrass with a little grit, a little groove, and a whole lot of Texas attitude, and Sour Bridges is your kind of band. These guys have been blending folk, rock, and Appalachian sounds into something all their own for years. We caught them live at the Globe Theater, and trust me, they did not disappoint. Here's Sour Bridges.
Hey, I know the one I want to talk about is Down and Out. Is one of our classic favorites. I like this song because we just recorded an album last year, and we needed a few songs to fill the void of a full-length album. And I wrote this one real quick, and we figured it out in the studio, and it turned out being the album title, name, and probably my favorite track. So we just kind of put it together real quick, and it's a fan favorite, I think.
Yeah, it's a nice rocker.
One of the things I liked was that we kind of created the song together as a band in the studio that we were recording on the clock, and dollars were being spent, and we were in the lobby. Matt and I were like coming up with the riff together, and there's a clip of that, and I was just like, I can't believe that's how the song started. And then Mark and I kind of figured out some of the syncopations and the little differences and nuances, and then Will came up with a bass line in one night and then did it in one take. It was just kind of a Sour Bridges way to make a song and make it good, so it's cool.
This is the self-titled of our last album. It's 1 year old, about a couple days ago, and we're happy to do it for you. It's called Down and Out.
I'm Jack Ingram, and welcome back to the Texas music scene. We started this one with Silverada, and now we're bringing it home with them too. Their song Radio Wave has that perfect mix of nostalgia, melody, and Texas edge. That's why the song is a cornerstone of the band's self-titled 2024 album. Here they are, recorded live at the Globe Theater.
So Radio Wave, the first song on our new record, that was, man, that was the kind of the impetus for this whole thing, man. Like that song, when I wrote that song, that was the first one that I had that was trying out new ideas about songwriting and trying to really not be so particular about a lyric. And it was a fluid writing process. It was just, I was writing down things and I wouldn't scratch anything out. It was like whatever came out, I didn't even know what it meant until I was finished. You know what I mean? That song to me started the idea of how I could approach songwriting in a different way. And I was listening to a bunch of stuff. I was listening to this War on Drugs record that I was really influenced by. And I think we chased a lot of that stuff down too in the studio. I think giving us that opportunity to try new things musically, that song was the perfect canvas for that. We experimented a lot on that song, and it's just this very linear, there it is again, this groove that, you know, it's just like anthemic, and the words mean more to me now after I'm done with the song, and I think it's important to me that it's translated to people differently. You can take that song a lot of different ways, and a lot of the lines in that song, like the Americana is a myth line, you can perceive that how you want. And I think that was a goal for me in the writing of that song, was to let people perceive the lyric in a way that meant something to them rather than exactly what it meant to me when I wrote it.
All right, well, thank y'all for coming out here to the Globe Theater. Thank y'all for having us. Thank you, Tony, for having us on the Texas music scene again. Love you guys. All right, boys. The humming of a stereo on a frequency that I don't know is inspirational audio to me. In a yard of diffused fireworks with a phaser backing up the words, I'm singing over hummingbirds and pedal steel guitar. So with a flickered frown, I shift my weight. I'm a rusted hinge with an iron gate, an endless stretch of interstate with one arm on the wheel. Come on. Oh, when I get up in the morning, I don't bother to shave. Oh, got one foot on the gas and one in the grave. Oh, in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, I'm just drifting away on a radio wave. Oh, when I get up in the morning, I don't bother to shave. Oh, got one foot on the gas and one in the grave. Oh, in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, I'm just drifting away on a radio wave. A radio Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, folks, stick a fork in this one because we're done. A big thanks to Pootie's Hilltop Roadhouse for hosting us, and to the folks at the Globe Theater in Bertram for letting us be a part of their 90th anniversary celebration. And of course, thanks to Silverada, Sour Bridges, Brazilbilly, and Jesselee Jones for bringing the music. Most importantly, thanks to y'all for tuning in. Now do your part. Get out and support live music, because Texas is the one place that truly celebrates the independent spirit of making music. Let's keep it that way. We'll see you next time.